The partners you have in the game are helpful in two different areas. In the battles, they can give you an extra hit, and in the field, they can help Mario get to items or locations that he couldn't reach on his own. What would be your favorite partner in the game?
I think my favorite partner was Koops, just because I liked his personality. He was very shy, he was very timid. It just kind of reminds me a lot of how I was growing up. I was very laid back, you know, that sort of thing. And I just liked watching him grow throughout the story and how he became a much more confident person towards the end.
You also have the kickback shell ability.
Yeah,
and also breakdanced.
Mine's actually Vivian. I like that she was your enemy, but she was a pathetic enemy turned into a very valuable friend. She's able to hide you from attacks, she can burn enemies with a punch, and she's also able to burn all the enemies on screen as long as they can be inflicted by fire.
Most useful partner for me for Goombella. Favourite Sega, but Goombella's always the most useful partner.
Because she tells the hit points and gives information?
Yeah.
I think it's also kind of funny the information she can tell you. If it's an enemy from the old games, doesn't she say things like, oh, but you should already know that, or these guys are ancient history or something? There's only two minor issues with the partners. In battles, some partners can only attack by either jumping or on the ground. And if an enemy can dodge it by being in the air, or by having a spike on their head, they become pointless to use. Also, the only way you can level up a partner is by finding 3 shine sprites and taking them to this guy who will level up their HP, attack, and give them an extra move. However, you can't level them up again until everyone else has been leveled up. Not a big fan of how that works in this game.
Probably the backtracking was the biggest thing. Even though they had those pipes down on this, it just really felt like they were backtracking, going back and forth. And it just got kind of annoying after a while, but it wasn't a major issue. Everything else was pretty much fine. I just think they could have put in some kind of warp system, a more advanced warp system than they had already.
Well, I do kind of agree, because at the beginning of chapter 7, you had to backtrack everywhere, and I thought, oh, this is a horrible wild goose chase.
Oh yeah.
It's a nice way to get all the items you couldn't get before, but they didn't have to force this on you.
Yeah.
Having to go through the entirety of, well, the first dungeon to get the hidden character, that was a massive pain. Having to do the whole thing again to get extra level ups for your partners.
Well, the one issue, besides chapters 6 and 7, the beginning of them just kind of bored me. I was not really interested in all in those chapters, but I can look past that. But the one thing I just can't look past is, after you've beaten it, there's almost nothing left to do. I mean, there's the Pit of 1,000 Trials, and you can go back and get some of this other stuff, but they really didn't have anything else. I mean, one reason I love Tales of Symphonia so much is because when you beat it, you can go back and play all over again with a bunch of specials. I don't understand why you couldn't replay the beginning of this game again with either all your HP or all the flower points or all the badge points that you earned. It would have made the game a little bit easier, but hey, you earned it.
You have the option to continue playing after the final boss, unlike in the first one where you had to just keep facing the final boss, there was nothing to do afterwards. I really think they should have put something else in here to do afterwards besides the Pit of 100 Trials, because I don't think I've still beaten that yet. I think they could have added either more troubles in that trouble center, or they could have put in some sort of multiplayer, like some sort of mini games or something. Just something extra to do afterwards, because otherwise, you're right, there's nothing to do, just wander around town.
The one thing they add is a cameo, one of the characters from first Paper Mario.
Oh yeah.
There's about 4 of them in the game.
Overall, I think Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door it's a really good action RPG game. It's turn-based, but it has those segments that are, you have to get your timing just right. It's more than just push a button and wait. You have to really time your stuff, and the story it's better than most of the Mario stories, so it's definitely higher than a lot of others, but I'll give my score after you guys give yours.
Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door is an excellent game. I had a lot of fun playing it, and I just enjoy playing it years afterwards, just going through it again and again. it takes all the things I loved about the first one and added in even more new things I didn't even know I would like until I tried them out. It's definitely a step up from the first game, but I think they kind of stepped down a bit with Super Paper Mario. But The Thousand Year Door is an excellent game. It's one of my favorite Mario games of all time. And yeah, I would probably give Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door in 9.6 out of 10.
Paper Mario Thousand Year Door is a tribute and improvement over the original Paper Mario. There are a few things that are wrong with the game, but they're mostly nitpicks, such as battles being repetitive. I've played lots of JRPGs, which is kind of game Paper Mario's, Japanese RPG role-playing game, and I'm rating it just compared to other ones I've played. I will give this game a 5 out of 5.
Well, to me, the only thing that it really does miss the mark on is just the replayability. I mean, you can go back and play it over again, but, you know, to be honest, this was such a long game that I actually didn't want to play it again until about a few years later. It's fun, you should pick it up, especially if you're a Mario fan or an RPG fan, but I've never really liked it when you spend so many hours leveling up, and all you can do with it is just beat the final boss. There's nothing left to do after it, but some very few side missions that feel kind of pointless. I definitely would have played this game a lot more if it had some sort of reward system, such as letting you start a new game with half the amount of HP points, or half the amount of flower points, or even half the amount of badge points that you earned in your first quest. I think anybody else would have loved that, and some other RPG games do let you have that, so I just don't understand why this one couldn't. It may have made the game a little bit easier, but it's a reward. You earned it. I'd actually give it a 4 out of 5. A couple of flaws, but overall a good game. If it had the replayability, I'd give it a 5 out of 5. Alright, thanks for joining.
Alright, no problem.
Okay. Thanks for learning.
Yeah, thanks for inviting.
No problem.